lighten the mood a little bit. I hope that's okay. And tell you about my brother, who is the coolest brother ever in the history of brothers. When I came out to him, his exact words to me were, I love you, I support you, I'm so proud of you. Does this mean we can check out girls together? And I was like, yes. Yes, it does. And besides just being the best brother, he's also my best friend. We have so much in common. We like the same music, and the same movies, and the same books, and the same girls, it turns out. Turns out we like the same girls, which I discovered the summer after I graduated from college with a degree in voice performance. Now, does anyone know what you do after you graduate college with a degree in voice performance? You move back in with your parents and reevaluate your life choices. That's what you do. So that's what I did. And so there I was, living with my parents, working a shitty temp job, hopelessly in the closet, and just, generally in the midst of an existential life crisis, the first of several. And then I met Holly. And by met, I sort of re-met her because I'd vaguely known who she was a few years earlier, because when she was in high school, she might have maybe dated my brother for a while. Like a year. So it's fine. This was, definitely not a reason why we shouldn't be friends, right? And definitely not a reason I needed to tell him that we were friends, because we were completely normal, heterosexual girls hanging out, doing things like staying up all night discussing our feelings, and taking sunrise walks arm in arm through the misty rain, and having long conversations in her hot tub about how, theoretically, if the right woman came along, we weren't completely opposed to the idea of being with a girl, hypothetically, in her hot tub. And I did at one point think, this girl is so amazing. Why did my brother ever break up with her? The opportune time to have that conversation just never really came, because we kind of skipped that whole dating part and just went straight to having all the sex. There was no lesbian deprocessing, there was no emotional inventory. It was just, once the floodgates were open, it was just like, let's fuck all the time. But not tell anybody about it. Not our family, not our friends. What could possibly go wrong with this situation, right? Yeah, so except for keeping it a giant secret, it was great, right? We were young, we were in love, I had her and she had me, and everything in my life suddenly made sense. All the signs that I was queer, that I'd been ignoring all my life, were all of a sudden flashing at me, and everything was perfect. And then I discovered exactly why my brother had broken up with her. Because the girl was batshit crazy. Which is a whole different story. So, suffice it to say that it ended badly. Because is there any other way that those things end? I don't think there is. So, but the worst part about getting my heart broken was that I couldn't tell my brother about this, because in order to tell him about it, I have to tell him about me and Holly, and I wanted to spare his feelings at this moment, because I knew exactly how it felt to be someone's gateway drug to homosexuality. As a voice major, I'd spent all of college dating gay men. Which really should have been my first clue, you would think. All of them, every single guy I've ever dated is now gay. It's like a superpower. I'm like the clear Midas, but instead of gold, everything I touch turns to gay. Including, ultimately, myself. So anyway, intellectually, I know that someone's coming out is all about them and it's not about you, but it still doesn't feel great when your ex goes to bat for the other team. So since Holly was the last girl that he had seriously dated, I decided that I would definitely tell him about us, like later. I would tell him later. So time went by, and he dated other girls, and I dated other girls, and I got my shit together and eventually came out of the closet. And he responded in his loving and wonderful self. And after this, the best of all coming out scenes, he jokingly wonders if, since we have so much in common, we might have the same taste in girls. And I'm like, you don't even know. You don't even know. And of course, the next logical step in this conversation is for him to ask me how I came to this marvelous realization about myself. So here it is, right? The perfect chance to tell him about me and Holly. But what am I supposed to say? Well, I realized I was a giant dyke when I was banging your ex-girlfriend. I mean, how did that happen? So once again, I decided I would tell him later. So later turns into 2 years, and finally I decided that I couldn't put it off anymore. So we were on the phone one night, getting drunk together, because it was like a Tuesday or something. And I decided I'm finally going to tell him. So I'm like, so I have to tell you something, and I understand if you're really mad at me, because I should have told you a long time ago, but I just have to tell you, so I'm just going to tell you. And he's like, okay, what could I possibly say? So, you remember that summer that me and Holly were really good friends? And I'm waiting for him to put 2 and 2 together, but of course he's a straight dude, so he's like, yeah. Might have been a little, or a lot, more than just good friends? I say with a question mark on the end, like it's gonna change this story. And there's this silence. And so I'm like, AJ? AJ, are you there? And the silence drags on, and I'm worst case scenario, right? He's pissed, he's mad that I didn't tell him, he's mad that I slept with his ex-girlfriend, he's never gonna talk to me again, this is awful. And then, I finally start to hear this gasping sound, which takes me a minute to identify, because what had happened was that he was laughing so hard, and he could not even make sound happen. For 2 full minutes, and when he finally catches his breath, he's like, okay, so let me get this straight. And by straight, I mean whatever the opposite. He's like, so I lost my virginity to Holly, which I had suspected, but hadn't actually had hard confirmation of until this exact moment. So I'm like, yeah, I guess so. And he's like, and you lost your virginity to Holly. And I'm like, well, I mean, it depends on your definition. But kind of, yeah. And he's like, so we both lost our girl-ginity to the same girl. Like, that's the truth. And then he says, and this is really what wins him Best Brother Award for the entire universe. So does this mean I can tell this story to everyone I've ever known in my entire life? And of course, the only thing I can respond is to say, yes. Yes, you can. Thank you.